peace. Good evening, family. Good evening. Welcome, Pat Talk 61. Tonight, we got a very interesting show. Very interesting show. Hopefully, Chef C, and as well as Lone Brother Wolf and Vader. I even sent the invitation to Brother Vader. Hopefully, he joins tonight. Dr. Short will not be with us, but he's here in spirit. He's actually texting me while we start the show. He might pop in and do a visit. He's taking care of some personal affairs. So tonight we have a very interesting show. Brother Negro, what's going on, brother?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great.
Okay.
Having some interesting times in Delaware, and you see some pictures I got. It's very
Show me the
interesting.
money. Let's look at.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of people are saying, "Show
Show
me the
me the
money"
money.
these days.
Let's look at.
Okay. So, Brother Negro, we have a show tonight called Show Me the Money. A lot of people may not be aware of what's going on. Um, it's some of the backdrop. Uh, what's going on? What's going on? Peace. A lot of people may not be aware of what's going on with Doge, and if they are aware, they basically they're not really paying attention to what's being said. So apparently, Brother Negro, Doge has said that through a bunch of quote unquote shell companies, they funneled $2 billion, and the name is on the shell companies, or who's responsible or who the money was allocated for was Stacey Abrams. I'm gonna read the article. This is from hold on.
Is Fox News the main contributor of this?
Yeah,
Because yeah, Fox News is.
I'm gonna read it. This is this is from Yahoo. Yeah, it says Biden sent 2 billion to Stacey Abrams Link Group in a green energy scheme. The EPA said, Environmental Protection Agency. Stacey Abrams, a climate group linked to high-profile Democrat Stacey Abrams, was granted 2 billion by the Biden administration in a scheme of wasteful spending. The Trump administration leading environmental agency has revealed. The Environmental Protection Agency recently made a revelation that the Biden administration, while allowing just 8 entities to distribute 20 billion of taxpayer dollars at their discretion. Wow. Included in the funds was a $2 billion grant to Power Forward Communities, a nonprofit with ties to former Democratic gubernatorial candidate Stacey Abrams that seeks to reduce our impact on the climate by financing the replacement of household appliances in low income communities with green alternatives. Abrams, who lost the Georgia gubernatorial race in 2022 midterms, reportedly played a pivotal role in establishing the group, in accordance to a LinkedIn post by Ian McGruger, who works at one of the coalition's partners, Rewiring America. If you care about clean air, land, and water, if you think there are some communities that have been left behind, then why aren't you spending $1 actually remediating the issue instead of paying off your friend, EPA Administrator Lee Zeldin told Fox News' Laura Ingraham. The 2 billion was used for a decarbonization of homes in low-income communities and paid for new household appliances such as water heaters, induction stoves, solar panels, EV chargers, weatherization, according to April 2024 press release for Power Forward Communities. Zeldin told Fox News that in 2023, Power Forward Communities reported just 100 in revenue, but was later granted 2 billion. Damn. Error EPA in 2024. Wow. Brother Negro, do you what do you have to
Okay,
say
yeah.
about
The
that?
first, yeah, the first thing I was looking at was who could she give the money to in Atlanta, right? That are black folks. That that fit that description, if you get what I mean. So one of the groups that I was looking at while you were talking was what was the group called? This West Atlanta Watershed Alliance.
Mhm.
The other one is Clark Atlanta University Environmental Justice and Stability Summit. Georgia Environmental Justice Act for 2023. Um, Also, she could have used it to combat Cop City, which is controversial in Atlanta because that plays into the environment as well. Um, from a sociology perspective, so I'm looking at her, and it impacts a life expectancy and stuff of that nature when it comes to Black folks. So when I look at this behavior that's going on, that she had the resources, she did no different from what Black Lives Matter have done. Gatekeep the money, didn't deliver to people who need it, who were aggrieved, and they needed the services so that they could be better off. So that was one of the things I just wanted to highlight. Just that Atlanta got a full of Black social and environmental warriors, quote unquote, that would have been an interest. It could have put that money to work.
But let me ask you, do you know anything about grant writing?
Yeah, so yeah, a little bit. I've done a
So
couple
usually,
on
so
smaller
you,
scale.
so usually, like they said in the article, usually, it only turned $100 revenue, but was granted $2 billion. I've never heard of that. I've never heard of anything that the disparity is so wide. It doesn't even seem imaginable that, like, why would they even be given a grant of that type of why so much money? Usually, you have to prove what you're going to do with the money, right?
Fact. You have to prove viability, also engagement with the community and the service that's provided, and also sometimes there's a study that comes along with it, depending on what type of grant it is. The
Hmm.
grants when I was in the nonprofit area with Lions Club, some of the grants I've focused on was like matching grants. So we'll fundraise a certain amount, and then we'll ask for the Lions Club International to do what they call a matching grant, and they match, and then we get the equipment from the funds and stuff. And they normally build all those type of grant programs sometimes off of the membership dues, depending on how long these organizations has been in existence. So those are just some of the things, and those are like a program designed within those institutions that get like federal government from FEMA and everything else.
So I know a little bit about it, right? And I know that when you do put your paperwork in, everything has to line up to a T. You can't be a dollar short, a penny short. You have to basically your books have to be so open because they need to know where this money has to be accounted for. Am I correct?
Yes. And also it's through the taxes that's filed with the nonprofit. At the first 3 years of inception, they don't really per se have, depending on the state, they may not have to share where their revenue and stuff going to, but after like those 3 years, I think in regards to state of Connecticut, you have to it has to be like full just transparency. And then on top of that, you can't even hold a certain amount of money depending on what type of nonprofit status you have, right? Like some of them might have a cap limit of like 50,000, right? That you can actually keep in your bank account, and the rest of the proceeds have to be spent. It has to be in the interest of what the grant is. So those are some of the discrepancy. It depends on the organization. What is their cap limit, et cetera, et cetera.
Mm, wow. Well, I find this interesting, but we I have Stacy actually she actually responded. Let me show you what she said.
The ironies of the attack on you, and I'm going to play what he did, was that my understanding is the program at the source of this whole thing is a program to lower costs for people. Do I have that top line correct?
You have it absolutely right.
Okay, so I'm gonna play what he had to say, and then I'm gonna ask you to explain what the program is that was such an obvious, ludicrous laugh line for the Republicans there. Take a listen.
$1.9 billion to recently created Decarbonization of Homes Committee, headed up, and we know she's involved. Just at the last moment, the money was passed over by a woman named Stacey Abrams. Have you ever heard of her?
Okay, so what is this organization? What is your relation to it, and what does it do?
In 2023 and 2024, I led a program called Vitalizing DeSoto. We worked in a tiny town in South Georgia to demonstrate that by replacing energy inefficient appliances with efficient appliances, you can lower your cost. And in fact, we accomplished that. For 75% of the community, they got appliances that are lowering their bills right now. We had one woman who saw her electric bill cut in half from $180 to $98. That's what we delivered. And based on that program, a coalition of organizations, famous organizations, came together and said to the EPA, if we can do this here, we can do this for millions more Americans. Let us invest the money of America in lowering the cost for Americans. And the EPA said, okay, great, go for it.
Brother Negro.
So I'm looking into the rewiring for America. It sounds like they're trying to update some of the online stuff. The other
Well,
things is updating the wires in the home.
I can say that most people don't know that half of America don't have internet service. So this is not far-fetched when it comes to access to the internet. But $2 billion project in a small town, and you're just basically changing out heaters, toasters. I mean, even if it's a small town of say like 15,000.
What's the name of the small town first?
I can't remember. Did anybody in the chat remember the name of the small
'Cause
town?
that's what I wanted to know first. Where is she dumping this money at, and who is receiving these money? Right? I see Habitat, big players involved from like the nonprofit sector, which is like United Way, Habitats for Humanity International. Like those are big players in regards to nonprofit work, right? So those are some of the things that I'm looking at here. But I want to know who.
Somebody in the chat said DeSoto.
How do you spell it?
They spelled it DESOTL.
OTL?
Yeah.
OTL, okay. Georgia. I want to know what is their populations like, that demographic.
All right, I got it up here.
Because I'm doing this on my phone.
You see the population?
Nope, I haven't done it yet. I'm still punching it in. Soto, Georgia. Sound like some rural backwoods stuff.
Oh.
Okay, it says 32.3%, which is it's 3 billion people, so about a third of that, so 1 million people.
That's what you got? That's what you got for DeSoto, Georgia?
Yeah, DeSoto. Yeah, I got it's 32. It's 32.3%. This as of 2024. The Georgia population. Oh, that's the Georgia population. That's not DeSoto.
Where do you see it?
Okay, profile.
I want you guys in the chat to look it up as well.
See, I need to know that first before I can really sink into it. 25% white. Oh wow, 42 Hispanic. See, that makes sense, right? And the guy, I'm not saying what she's doing is right, but it makes sense from a Democratic how she's saying true to her quote unquote that immigrant base. She's still catering to illegals.
Hey, brother Negro.
Like
the population is 200 people, man.
200 people. That's you're talking about that number. I'm looking at the racial breakdown and who is getting the benefits from it.
Population is 200 people.
for 2 billion. I can't justify that. Somebody's talking in that.
You guys got fat while everybody starved on the street.
Yeah, that's extreme. And the calculator squad didn't come in and bust on her yet.
I think that $2 billion allocated to her organization, and when she was asked about it, all she could do was bring up DeSoto, which is a town, and it's in southern western part of Georgia, and the population is 200 people. Wow, brother Nick.
You're being gracious, brother. I mean, I got some other data. 2020, they say it's 124.
Ugh,
You're actually, and they're saying 2023 is 120. You're being really, you're giving it the black. You're giving her what do they call it? You're treating her like she's white when
right.
when she get the black tax on this.
Wow. Wow. Here's
Yeah.
here's another statement she used, which I thought was kind of comical.
Any of his promises. And instead of doing his work, he's going after those of us who are actually doing the work of the American people. I am very proud of the work that I've done to protect voting rights, to lower the cost of energy for real people in the state of Georgia, and working with organizations that want to do it around the country, because Donald Trump is failing in his promises and focusing on petty retribution instead of fulfilling his promises to the American people.
What is your connection to this organization that did get funding, did get federal funding?
I led a project in Southwest Georgia that has lowered the cost of energy for struggling families, and I'm extraordinarily proud of that work. And because of that work, because of the work of 5 major organizations around this country who have done more than 250 years of service combined, the Biden administration authorized a grant. I did not work for the entity that received the grant ultimately. I worked for one of the partner organizations, but I was very much a part of pushing and showing America that we have the ability to lower prices, that the money is there, the will is there, the capacity is there. But what is not there is Donald Trump and his lackeys' willingness to actually let American people get the benefit of these services.
What would happen if the money was removed from these services, if he withdrew the funding for this program?
Then millions of Americans will lose access to lower prices. There is a young woman in Southwest Georgia whose husband died, unfortunately, because the hospital that could have saved his life had been closed due to the governor's failure to expand Medicaid, but that's a story for a different day. She saw her bill cut in half. And when you're raising children in a time when prices are on the rise, having a lower electric bill is an amazing, amazing thing. Her bill was cut in half. And what Donald Trump, what Elon Musk, what his lackeys and flunkies in Congress are saying is that they would rather have retribution than actually support the people of America. We have proof that it works. We know that it can actually help people.
You guys in the chat, thumbs up if you believe Stacey Abrams, thumbs down if you don't believe her. Brother Negro, what say you?
Okay, so I'm giving her a thumbs down. When I look at Southwest Georgia, 50% Caucasian, 40% Black American people, considered to be in the Black Belt, right? Um, those are some of the things that I'm looking at here, and she won't advocate for reparations, right? But she will give us a program like this, while yet still stay. Her party gives out cash to non-citizens all across the world. It's just a walk in hypocrisy a little bit to me, and it's very disingenuous that she's going to say, well, I'm giving you online, but we can't even pay the online bill even if they lower the electricity and stuff. Because our problems is not an electric problem. Our problem is more or less an economic extraction problem.
I mean, even if
So it's
you
disingenuous. You get what I'm saying?
even if you were putting all solar energy in in that particular town, because it's only, let's say, 200 people, there's that would even cost more than 150,000, because the solar company would have gave you a deal for all them contracts. Hold on one second. Chef C, and
Peace,
what's
peace,
going on,
peace.
bro? How's everything?
We live,
What up,
man.
brother Chef?
Part of my delayed entrance, man. I needed to get back to the camp. We are live though. We in the building, man. Salute.
Salute. Yeah, we talking about this $2 billion that was allocated to these organizations. Basically, Stacey Abrams' name is all over it, and we looked it up, Chef C, and the town is only population 200 people.
Man, you cooking the numbers for us still. You're still cooking the numbers.
I'm cooking the numbers for her.
I'm giving her 150. I'm giving her 120.
This what? Tell me what you think this is, Chef C. This was her initial statement. Hold up.
The ironies of the attack on you, and I'm going to play what he did, was that my understanding is the program at the source of this whole thing is a program to lower costs for people. Do I have that top line correct?
You have it absolutely right.
Okay, so I'm gonna play what he had to say, and then I'm gonna ask you to explain what the program is that was such an obvious, ludicrous laugh line for the Republicans there. Take a listen.
$1.9 billion to recently created decarbonization of homes committee, headed up, and we know she's involved. Just at the last moment, the money was passed over by a woman named Stacey Abrams. Have you ever heard of her?
Okay, so what is this organization? What is your relation to it, and what does it do?
In 2023 and 2024, I led a program called Vitalizing DeSoto. We worked in a tiny town in South Georgia to demonstrate that by replacing energy inefficient appliances with efficient appliances, you can lower your cost. And in fact, we accomplished that. For 75% of the community, they got appliances that are lowering their bills right now. We had one woman who saw her electric bill cut in half from $180 to $98. That's what we delivered. And based on that program, a coalition of organizations, famous organizations, came together and said to the EPA, if we can do this here, we can do this for millions more Americans. Let us invest the money of America in lowering the cost for Americans. And the EPA said, okay, great, go for it.
Chef Chef
Mega,
C.
she ran the play with the crazy. That money laundering party is the truth, man. Yeah.
Show me the money. Just looking.
Hey, man. They really got it. They got it, man. This is, and I said it once before, I'm gonna say it again. The party of money laundering is at it again. Auntie Abram out here flexing, talking about she doing something for the people when she really running off with the bag. I mean, listen, the greatest jokes to date is acting as if folks are supposedly doing something for the community when they never have any intentions of doing so at all. And they've been masterful with this, man, for decades.
If it's just to a point, and we got to realize, I believe, that if you're not grifting, you're not going to be part of the clique.
Right.
You know, we could talk about all this
the league of grifters, brother Q. The league of grifters.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
The master of disguise, as they call it, right? The fight the power, the elements can't keep a black woman down. We are oppressed. No, you are the oppressors.
Really, and
Okay.
these people claim to represent communities that look like us. And like Brother Negro said that, you know, and we don't even want to talk about what they feel about reparations, but even when the reparations conversation is brought up, they shut it down or they'll use it as a carrot whenever they feel like dangling the carrot in front of the people to get the people to try to jump back on ship. And if you just look at their voting records when they're in power or what they do when they are in charge of funding for these quote unquote nonprofit organizations, they don't even funnel the money to the community. They funneled to money to a community in Southwest Georgia that has a population of 200 people. And if you listen to what she's saying, she sounds like she nigga explaining.
Mm.
She sounds like she's deflecting. I have another video, Chef, say I want you to check out. I played it earlier. And
Okay.
the whole video, she's deflecting on Donald Trump.
Mm.
I mean,
Wait, wait,
I
brother
beg your
Chef,
pardon.
if you're
uh,
gonna if
brother
you're gonna
Q,
yeah.
can I chime in for 2 seconds? The thing is, I don't like is that she is using what they consider the black belt, which is predominantly of us people,
Mm.
and she's acting like she's providing a service, and she's not doing anything to uplift and to help our people in great numbers. She's only helping a certain
You
segment.
guys got fat while everybody starved on the street.
Right.
Mm,
Right.
mm.
Right. And Stacey Abrams looks like the crash out, butch, carpet muncher that she is. Look at it. She looks like a carpet muncher. Carpet. Look at the face. And you got to really keep in mind most of the people that they put out in front of us, coming from that particular left side, the lib side, are extremely unattractive women. Just can we
Mm.
keep? We got to keep that a buck. You know. Um, and I've never heard anything inspiring come from a Stacey Abrams, right? Like she appears to be another person that they cooked up in the left circus to be rolled out as another act coming from that side. So I'm just really trying to understand: is there some type of early grooming process? I'm sure it happens through the Jack
Yeah,
and Jills.
I know for a fact it is.
Okay.
I I knew the guy. He's gone now. I knew the guy who basically sponsored Cory Booker.
Mm.
And when I met him, I was part of this organization where we were trying to get funding. And they told me about him. His name was we called him Mr. G. And he basically he was like, gave us his story, gave us his spill. And he said, "Yeah, Corey studied the bar at my house."
Oh, he studied the bar, all right.
Yeah, when he got the bar exam, he's like, "Yeah," and basically he was like, we brought Corey to Newark. Now, Cory Booker, most people don't know, is from Bergen County.
Cooked him
That's
up.
not that's not the next county to Newark, New Jersey. You got to go through 3 counties. Got to go through Passaic County, then you got to go through Hudson County to get to Essex County. Corey. Dr. Short wrote a very, very interesting book about Cory Booker, and I think people should check it out. Yes, Dr. Short is the author, you guys. I know he.
The book is called Spartacus Cory
Yes,
Booker, ladies and gentlemen.
yes. Check it out. Buy it. Buy it from Dr. Short. Support Dr. Short as an author. It's a very interesting book, and what's amazing about the book, Dr. Short did that book, and I didn't even know him. He didn't know nothing about me. Me and him had one conversation about Cory Booker, And when I told him I was from and how I knew Corey, he knew I was telling the truth. So this just goes to show that sometimes, as they say, the 6 degrees of separation is real. So to Chef C's point, these people are groomed through those Jack and Jills, through the Boule organizations, the Divine Swine, and all that stuff. These people are groomed. APAC starts grooming them early. Hold on. Here go the other video, Chef C.
You're saying we won't let you be helped because we don't like who's
Yeah.
off. He's
Start
going
from-
after those of us who are actually doing the work of the American people. I am very proud of the work that I've done to protect voting rights, to lower the cost of energy for real people in the state of Georgia, and working with organizations that want to do it around the country, because Donald Trump is failing in his promises and focusing on petty retribution instead of fulfilling his promises to the American people.
What is your connection to this organization that did get funding, did get federal funding?
I led a project in Southwest Georgia that has lowered the cost of energy for struggling families, and I'm extraordinarily proud of that work. And because of that work, because of the work of 5 major organizations around this country who have done more than 250 years of service combined, the Biden administration authorized a grant. I did not work for the entity that received the grant ultimately. I worked for one of the partner organizations, but I was very much a part of pushing and showing America that we have the ability to lower prices, that the money is there, the will is there, the capacity is there. But what is not there is Donald Trump and his lackeys' willingness to actually let American people get the benefit of these services.
What would happen if the money was removed from these services, if he withdrew the funding for this program?
Then millions of Americans will lose access to lower prices. There is a young woman in Southwest Georgia whose husband died, unfortunately, because the hospital that could have saved his life had been closed due to the governor's failure to expand Medicaid, but that's a story for a different day. She saw her bill cut in half. And when you're raising children in a time when prices are on the rise, having a lower electric bill is an amazing, amazing thing. Her bill was cut in half. And what Donald Trump, what Elon Musk, what his lackeys and flunkies in Congress are saying is that they would rather have retribution than actually support the people of America. We have proof that it works. We know that it can.
Man, sit your dumb ass down.
Thank you, Martin. Thank you, Martin Lawrence. Listen. Stacy, right, debunker TV. Blah, blah, blah. Run that bag.
Let me ask you. Yes, she Black Larian. Yes, she's eloquent and very good at deflection. Very good with throwing Elon Musk out there, Governor Kemp out there, Donald Trump out there. Where's the full
Obama?
President Obama? Where's the full transparency of this $2 billion? I need you guys in the chat to do me a favor. Just type the city you live in. Type the city you live in the chat. I want to do an experiment. Just type the city you live in.
Salute to everybody that's in the building.
Constantly insulting the people's intelligence. Yes, Brother Felix. Yes. Sister Star came in with the will kick. That was a bunch of something and nothing at the same time.
Salute to Sister Star. Salute to everybody talking that talk tonight. Listen, man. She sidestepped the main focus of that exchange like a motherfucker. I mean, she willed and dealed it. She did a wax on, wax off all around the main meat of what this man was asking her. This is a bunch of lip service. Look at her lip right now. Look at Stacey Abrams' lip, y'all. That's what she gave everybody just now. Lip service and no real service at all.
All right,
Right.
we're gonna go one by one. We're all adults and we understand at the minor, for the sake of this conversation, at the minor, we understand some basic civics in the municipalities that we live in. What would $2 billion do to the city of Atlanta?
Come on.
Cheraw,
Well,
South Carolina. What would $2 billion do to Cheraw, South Carolina?
hey, can I throw something out there with this? With
Yeah,
that
you shit.
$2 billion?
You would be able to buy plus rebuild and put infrastructure in Shore, South Carolina. What, man?
Newcastle, Delaware.
Oh man, brother Negro, Biden's backyard, brother Negro. $2 billion for Biden's backyard. What can be done over there?
Springfield, Illinois.
Turn that whole city upside down. Turn that whole area upside down.
Peace, sister
Investment.
calling. Oh, Jerry came back with the wheel kick. Detroit Water.
$2 billion in Detroit would go crazy.
Brother Juan J. Johnson is in the building.
Let me go on mute. The wolf is in the building.
No. I am sitting here. Just got in. And you excuse me for being late, but I had some things to take care of. Just good to hear the conversation. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you well, sir. So
Yeah.
we going over Stacey Abrams. Are you up to speed about this $2 billion, sir?
What, the vanishing $2 billion?
Right.
You guys got fat while everybody starved on the street.
So Sister Star said, I know it will fix all these potholes in my city that are so deep that some of the cones in them. Hey, Sister Star, tell me when you go over one of those potholes, don't it feel like your whole car just collapsed? You drive over one of them potholes and you won't catch it in time and swerve. You be feeling like your whole daggone axle collapsed. So,
Hey, brother Q, I wanted to chime in on this
yeah,
too.
yeah, go ahead.
She mentioned hospitals, right? And you got to keep in mind and that black women has some of the highest mortality rates, especially in Atlanta and stuff like that. She could have used that funds to either build up the hospital,
Come on.
to investigate some of the infant mortality rate that's impacting the environment and the community of black folks.
Come on.
She, I have a strong issue with how the money was mismanaged and mishandled, and you could just call her the political version of Black Lives Matter. That's what she is.
Well, check this out,
Donald
Stacey.
Trump, and I approve this message.
Well, check this out. Even and correct me if I'm wrong, y'all. According to the CDC, Center for Disease Control, which is supposed to be out there in Atlanta as well, right?
Yes.
Atlanta is also supposed to be the number one place where full of AIDS. Couldn't some of that money have gone to the research and combatants of that AIDS epidemic out there in Atlanta? See, the misappropriation of funds and her being who she is, she's not a stranger to that particular thing that's going over there in Atlanta. So these other bullshit causes that she decided to so-called put the funding to, Stacey Abrams, just say you wanted to wash the money. You
Jackson,
wanted to run the
Mississippi
play.
water.
Can we just keep this 100 out here? I need folks to stop playing out here. Flint ain't got shit. What can Flint get some of that money? Flint, where you at, Flint?
That's what they
Oh,
said. To Flint.
wait. Louisiana need to get that money. Cancer Alley. What's that? That one of the speakers of the House, Goodrich, or whatever the heck his name is. That I can't think. Professor Black Truth have mentioned about him, but he has Cancer Alley in his district. And I don't think people may not be aware what Cancer Alley is. One of the most it's this block in the street that's in Louisiana that has one of the highest levels of various different forms of cancer in that community. So it's crazy.
Well, I just say this, man. They found your boy Tom Brady's jersey when it went missing in less than 2 weeks with $2 billion, right? $2 billion bag that ran off, right? We couldn't find cures for diabetes, cures for fucking cancer, HIV, all of that money. We got AI writing up contracts, right? We we got robots making cocktails in the clubs, right? At the airports, you got robots. Matter of fact, let me bring it back down to earth. You go to Target and you got a fucking robot being racist and following your black ass up and down the aisle. but they couldn't find a better place to put that money. They that money could have went to regulating some of them racist ass robots in Target, Costco.
You should have protested them, Chef. Shame on you. You should have protested them. You know Al Sharpie. You know Al Sharpie's on your neck for that, brother.
You know what, man? Al Sharpton didn't give me $100 for that Costco buy-in. So fuck Al Sharpton. You understand me?
This is a sick Negro.
So look here, let me provide some context for a second, right? I actually sat on a panel of Catholic charities in times past, and I actually sat there and approved grants for those who were putting in requests throughout the city. And let me tell you something. We scrutinize those requests because depending on how much you wanted, we need to know where the money was going. You had to have an itemized list of where the money is going. Okay. I'm talking about building, rent, staffing, and just where each chunk of money was going down to the last penny. Okay. It was like 5 of us on the board, and we'd approve grants because this is a grant, right? That she got. So and look here, under the greatest of scrutiny, right? You talking about billions of dollars? One of the first questions I'm asking, what has she done to prove that she can handle billions of dollars?
Brother Juan, when I read the article, it said that prior to that, it had only turned over prior to getting the $2 billion. It had only turned over $100 revenue.
Okay. So my antennas go up because for me, I've approved grants, I've sat on Catholic charities, and when I hear money like this, I need to know where it's going.
And for the sake of everybody in the chat, Brother Juan is being very humble when he says Catholic Charities. Catholic Charities, you guys, is the most charitable organization in the world. Catholic Charities is in every city.
Yes.
Every city in this country, because these are the charities when they have food banks, you got to go through Catholic Charities.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of the money is allocated through them, and then other organizations got to go through Catholic Charities.
Also, you got those civic organizations around the world like Rotary, Lions Club, and Kiwanis Club, right? Those are one of the three largest civic organizations and they have signs all throughout your neighborhood, including the black ones, And if people want to pull my card on that, I'll point them right up in their neighborhood. They got signs that they don't even recognize that's getting posted up in their neighborhood where people are moving money and resources that we're not having access to in our community.
See, one one of the things that we have to understand, you guys, in the chat, and myself and everybody else, right, is that the money is being allocated. The
Mhm,
money is always being allocated. It's actually written in the budget.
mhm.
And the reason why it doesn't get to you and I is because the gatekeepers continue to gatekeep it. And the only way that you and I or anybody that we know is going to get any of this stuff, like I said earlier, is you're going to have to be part of the grift. And if you're not part of the grift, you're going to have to get it unbeknownst to where it came from. Brother Juan, like I said, he said that he was part of an organization that give you the grant. And I'm telling you, you will not get the grant if that money don't line up. And when I mean money line up, if you're off $1, you will not get it.
So watch this. I'll tell folks this: when you're writing a grant, normally you want to shadow the organization that you want the money from. If I'm saying it right, meaning if you want to be able to have a flower garden or plant some trees, then you need to mirror or shadow that organization that's doing it, because that organization could be sitting on that panel who's willing to give you the money for that grant. Okay. Most people don't realize when you want to get this grant, you want to be able to put it up, what they require, what their purpose, what their goal is. You want to shadow that, because people want to give you money based on, okay, well, he's meeting my need right here, they're meeting my need right there. Okay, financially, okay, seems like a good organization that I can get this money to. And in her case, like, I don't know her, uh, but when you're talking about $1 billion, man, forget a billion. You're talking about $1 million. That's a lot of money, family.
It will transcend a city.
So
$2
the
billion.
has $2 billion.
Most of these states, a lot of these states,
Go ahead.
I would be hard pressed. Let me look. I'm gonna check it. I'm gonna show you guys something. Most people don't know.
Look, in a lifetime, the average person, if they do 20, 25 years, they can make $1 million. Okay. If you're making about maybe 100 grand up to 80 grand uh, a year, within 25, 30 years, you should be able to make $1 million. But we're talking about a one lump sum or payments monthly that total up to $2 billion. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. That's more than some people's some cities budget, you know, to run their cities.
Some of these cities that we live in are working out of a deficit. They
Yeah.
don't. They're $2 billion for a small town in West Georgia.
Look, I think the budget for DC, if I'm not mistaken, because DC is a federal city. It's not a state. It's not a county. I think it's $5 billion, right? And the government, the Congress, the senators, they got to sign off on it. $5 billion.
And most of that is going for Secret Service and stuff like that for their benefit.
Right. So we talking about $2 billion is no small amount of money that you're giving to Stacey Abrams and those companies, or those companies that she said that she partnered with.
You guys got fat while everybody starved on the street.
It's a lot of money, man.
Hmm.
That's a whole lot of money.
So unfortunately, you guys, we're gonna turn a chapter on Stacey Abrams. We're just gonna say what Felix said. That's a lot of money. Like the great John Amos said in Coming to America, he got his own money.
Okay.
He got his own money. So we're gonna turn the page on her, and unfortunately, we're gonna talk about the black community's greatest aunt right now.
Before you go there, brother,
Go,
before
go,
you
do
go
your
there,
thing.
I need my family who's tuned into the broadcast to like this broadcast. Now we all on different platforms right now. I got some on YouTube. I got some on Twitter or X. Need those likes up. Need you to share the program, and we're gonna need you to subscribe to the stations. And if you want to, somebody out there could sponsor this broadcast tonight. We need some sponsors.
Show me the money.
Yeah, need some sponsors. Okay.
Show me the money.
We love those right now, and we thank you for tuning in because you know what, you can be somewhere else, but you're here. But while you're here, let's put a little bit of donations out there, not donations, donations.
Show me the money.
I want to salute Sister Star for always holding it down. She sent the donation on the last broadcast to me, so I say salute you, sister. We all got cash apps that we can just put out there, but I need you guys to support the station. And I'm gonna leave it right there. Go ahead, brother Q.
So Chef C, Chef C sent me this early this week. Maxine Waters, Auntie Maxine, America's favorite aunt, paid daughter $192,000 in campaigns funds during the 2022 cycle filing show. So she filed this. She filed this. This is not alleged. Whenever you have campaign funds, you have to, like what Brother Juan said about the nonprofits, you have to show where the
Hey there.
money went.
No need to adjust your TV, or more likely your phone. You're watching. Hey there. No need to adjust your TV, or more likely your phone. You're watching at Mint Mobile. We're always looking for innovative ways to save our money, so we can save you money.
Hold on.
All right, whenever we do a tax segment, we get a lot of reaction, including those who just say, what am I doing in a high tax state? I should move. So for that perspective, Gary Kaltbaum in Florida, he has seen a lot of people join him there. Adam Lashinsky out in California, he's seen a lot of his friends and family members. For all I know, his own family leave him there. Gentlemen, it's good to have both of you. Adam, I ended with you with a polite
California Democrat
there,
Representative
what is
Maxine
going
Waters
on with
continue her
California, or at least
long-standing
one
practice
legislator
funneling
trying to woo
campaign
others,
cash
is seriously
to her
looking
daughter
at
to run a
imposing
lucrative
tax on
operation.
the upper 1%, and then
What'd you say?
even if they leave, making sure that they pay it regardless.
The video's still playing.
Well, I doubt it'll be very popular, and I doubt it'll actually happen. And politicians do all sorts of nutty things, Neil. But I actually think it's kind of pathetic that people would build their lives around the taxes that they pay, as opposed to their community or even the states that nurtured them and gave them their fortunes. Gary, I know that you didn't move to Florida recently or just to avoid paying taxes, but that is how I feel about somebody like Ken
What
Griffin.
about now, Brother
Illinois
Juan?
nurtured him.
Still here, brother. What's going on? There's another box that's open.
Says, okay, bye-bye. I don't want to deal with you
Didn't he build his own empire? What did the state have to do?
It's Kavutu. Whatever Kavutu you got, that's who's it's Kavutu. From Fox News.
I'm gonna just read the article. I'm gonna read the article off my phone.
Okay.
I got too many daggone things open right now.
Yeah.
So just pardon me 1 second, you guys.
Well, look, before he read the article, let me say this. I was a treasurer for Tanya Brooks in District 9 about 2020, about maybe 5 years ago. And when I say I was a treasurer, that means I handled the money, all the money coming in, all the money going out. And I had to file the taxes on that money. Okay? So I'm familiar with that money piece because my girl was running, and I was thinking, you know what, I need to run next time because I was a treasurer. But look here, go ahead, brother Q, go ahead.
So it says here Maxine Waters' daughter, another. This is even more money. Adding to 16,500 in campaigns funds, adding to 1.2 million in previous payments. The re-election campaign of Representative Maxine Waters shelled out another 16,000 to her daughter in June, adding to more than 1.2 million the Congresswoman has paid her daughter over the past nearly 2 decades. Karen Waters, who has been organizing slate mailing operations to boost her mother's reelection since 2003, and her company Progressive Connections have received more than 1.2 million from Waters' campaign. A federal election commission filing Friday by Citizen for Waters shows that the younger Waters received 4 payments totaling $16,000 from a committee in June for slate mailer and management fees.
So think about
Slate mailing is an uncommon practice in federal elections where a consulting firm is hired to create a pamphlet of sorts that contains a list of candidates or policy measures advisors voters how to cast their ballot.
Mhm.
Go ahead, brother Juan.
Well, look again. You're talking about 1.2 million within 2 decades. That's like almost what we're talking about at least $50,000 a year. 100,000 for 1 decade is, like I said, 100,000 for 1 decade is a million because a decade is 10 years. So you're talking about almost 2 million or 1.2 million last 2 decades. We're talking about $60,000 a year given to her daughter for doing what? I don't know.
And I will say, according to this report, which is crazy, according to this report, what they saying everything that she's done and filed, it's not illegal.
Well, if you file the taxes properly and you keep your books tight, it's not illegal. But my thing is, again, where so what services was rendered? What did the person do? Look, as a treasurer, I didn't get paid for being a treasurer. It wasn't no paid job. I wouldn't have got paid until the candidate had won and went and got that seat, and then I would have moved. But that was a free that was a free job, brother. I didn't get paid.
Brother Negro, is she setting her is Auntie Maxine setting her daughter up?
Of course she is.
Brother Negro.
Nepotism. Oh wait. This is bad nepotism. See, I have no problem with nepotism, but if you're a horrible politician, right? Why do I want you to have your political line to keep on progressing and representing us as a community? That will be kind of my retort to that. And ever since Maxine, sister Maxine or auntie or grandma, she's getting old now. Grandma, Maxine Waters, um, she has she didn't say anything about reparations in the task force. She was silent on that. She was silent on a lot of things in regards to the progression of black people, but she's been screaming and hoo-haing when it comes to illegal immigration and other things of that nature, gay rights and things that are detrimental to our community. So no, I don't want to see her political life extend past her shelf life. That means through her daughter. That means through anything that's connected with her. It needs to be uprooted. So that's just my perspective of just Grandma Waters because she's getting old now. She needs to have some chamomile. She need to have some ice cream and just stay out the way. That's where I'm kind of at with these old timers that are adversarial to the plight of our people.
Look, my auntie is 80 plus years old. Every time I see her out there in these streets, protesting, I kind of feel bad because she's overserved her purpose. She reminds me of a relic of times past. And the indictment is not really on her, it's on the people that keep putting her in office. That's what the indictment is. Not on her. Because she gonna run as long as y'all continue, as long as that district continues to put her in. Why would she go anywhere else? That's all she know. She's a career politician. And yes, she gonna set her daughter up and give her daughter the baton. Why? Because nepotism is real. Do she deserve it? Hell no. But where are the brothers and the sisters who stepped up to run up against her? I saw this one brother. He said he ran against her, and she got the FBI. She put the FBI on him. What's that story? I saw?
Cooked him.
She put the FBI on him. What's his name? Who ran against her? I can't make this up. Let me find his name. Yeah, but Auntie,
She put Johnny Law on him.
The FBI. Yeah. Let me look this thing up.
Well, you know, you got me thinking about a story of mine, Brother Wolf, because I used to work hand in hand with a couple nonprofit organizations. Okay. And I was teaching kids how to work the knife. You know, I was teaching kids how to be, just get basic entry level skills to go into to restaurants, so they can at least become a prep man or woman to kind of get their foot through the doors, right? And I had reached a particular, level in my career where I wasn't, I was no longer donating that kind of service. I was charging a fee. But when you say, as far as the itemized things that you need when you're working with these nonprofits, yeah, it was we had to document everything, man. We had to document everything. And if something came up a little short, no, it was some hell to pay, because a good amount of these nonprofit organizations too, they particularly love to work with for-profit businesses. Okay. That gives them the opportunity, because some of them don't spend all of their money. And there's funds that are left over that have to be washed, per se. And they do that through the for-profit businesses, or anybody that they bring in as an independent contractor to do some kind of training. So when you brought that up, Brother Wolf, I started thinking about my consulting business, and how we had to make sure that all of the stuff we were bringing in then reflected in the nonprofit organization's books. But they could cook the books as long as they were able to show that the money went somewhere else. That's how that worked with the nonprofit, with those nonprofit organizations. You can give them itemized items, but they can revise it so it looks like they moved more than what they actually moved. It doesn't per se come back on you as the business owner, but it covers the nonprofit person who is then more than likely trying to wash or launder funds. So yeah, I learned a lot through that process, and that's why I no longer work with some of those nonprofit organizations, because they were trying to run the bag off the back of my business. So yeah, I definitely understand what you mean by that, sir. Definitely understand it.
So you guys in the chat, what I'm gonna ask you guys again, like I asked about Stacy. Thumbs up if you think Maxine Waters is on board. Thumbs down if you think she's doing something shady.
Well, I got, you know what? I'm gonna put some respect on Auntie Maxine. Some disrespect on her because she's found her niche. Right after decades and decades of hooting and hollering, Maxine Waters, Maxine Waters' presence in that community has done nothing but solidify its condition and elevated her. So she found that, okay, in this community, you know, it is best. She's operating, keep it a buck, y'all. When you really simplify it, Maxine operates like a slave master within that community. You can't be too rough on the community. You got to show some slight compassion, and that's how you get the loyalty. And that's how Auntie Maxine can come back in and out of that community and then go off to her little mansion. Auntie Maxine don't live there like that. She on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
So we
And
gotta we gotta keep this a buck. That's why she can go ahead and run the play. Come on, man. This is not new. You know, act like you give a shit when you really don't. And our people fall for this stuff all the damn time. Is what it is.
I put the link in the chat about the she contacted the FBI on her political opponent. So yeah, she ain't no joke now. Look here. Look, you gotta have tough skin for politics. Politics is not for the weak. It's for the ruthless. Because everything that you've done will go under the microscope. Not just you.
Auntie Maxine getting all thumbs down. But like the brother said, hold on. I saw it. Like the brother Felix said, Auntie Maxine was 10 toes down with the Rick Ross, Freeway Ricky Ross situation. And she said that she did say that on the House floor that somebody's going to pay for what y'all did to my people. Did the communities get any?
Hold on, Q. Come on now. Wait a minute now. Wait a minute.
Man, sit your dumb ass down.
Listen, Auntie Maxine with that bullshit. She wasn't no different than what your boy Al Green did when he showed off at Trump's address to Congress. Can we stop the playing?
See, the black race can't afford you no more.
Yeah.
Oh, there used to be a time we'd see somebody like you singing, clowning, gossiping, and we wouldn't do anything. Folks like that.
Come on.
You were good. Homie kind of nigga.
Yeah.
When they needed somebody to mistreat, call a name or two, they paraded you.
That's right.
Reminded them of the good old days.
Yeah. Hey. She's been doing she has done what your boy Al Green did just a week ago or so. Acting like he's standing up there giving a crap about folks' Medicaid getting cut off or whatever it is, making a big old scene. Maxine understands that that's the same particular type of crowd that she's got to. Peace, Sister Jane, peace. That's the same type of crowd that she's got to pander to. Somebody gonna pay, blah, blah, blah. More theatrics. We need to stop with the nonsense. Listen, these are poverty pimps. Do you understand me? These are poverty pimps, finessers, jukesers, circus acts. Listen, I'm running out of names for these folks. You understand me? Just another clown. Right.
Look, there's a quote in the Batman Dark Knight that said, either you die a hero or you live long enough to become a villain.
Come on.
And a lot of our heroes, because Maxine was a hero at one time.
So was listen, we got if Maxine was
Jesse
Jesse was. Clarence was.
Yes.
Clarence, right? I bled on Miss Pettis Bridge before he got up out the way.
Al Sharpton family. He was
Yeah.
a hero.
All heroes at one time, but again,
I ain't claiming them niggas. Them niggas was never heroes.
you outlive your hero status when you stay around too long.
They came on the scene grifting, and they gonna die grifting.
Come on.
Again.
When Jesse Jackson put that blood on his shirt,
Done. He was cooked.
he was cooked. And that's their fault for not telling us, not teaching us that he was a piece of shit.
Yeah, but watch this. I don't know when Hosea let the public know about the betrayal of Jesse Jackson. I don't know what year he actually did that interview when he said that Jesse, he said, I can forgive him for everything. But he mentioned, he put his hand on the ground and put the blood on his shirt. That's when he was going to choke him out. Okay? But what year did he say that? Because that was an old video. And did black people hold Jesse accountable? No, they didn't. Matter of fact, they emboldened Jesse and got with Jesse and let him run for president in 88. Come on, man. He ain't got killed in 68. And 20 years later, Jesse was running for president. And you did not see nobody bring up the blood-stained shirt.
It's Coons. What have y'all done for us? What have you done for me lately? It's Coons. What have y'all done for us? What have you done for me lately?
So again,
This is a sick Negro.
We're gonna have to take this L, man, as a community.
No,
Just we keep them in office.
One thing that we have to do, and I'm quite sure I can say this without me speaking out of turn.
Okay, go ahead.
We got to call people out for their complicity for what they've done to our communities. We got to call them out. This ain't a popularity contest. These people have been complicit in harming the black community.
Well, hold on, Brother Q. But actually, it is a popularity contest, sir. And the masses, unfortunately, of our people only move through what media dictates as a popular person. So that in itself is where the unaccountability comes from. Right? The media told us that we should revere a Maxine Waters. The media told us that a Stacey Abrams is something that we should trust and look up to and count on as a sister girl. The media said Auntie Maxine been doing right by them folks out there all them years. And just now we heard, hey, Auntie Maxine was talking that fly shit. That somebody gonna have to pay for what they did to blah, blah, blah. So the media told us, just like the media is telling us right now, that your girl Jasmine Croc shit is somebody to revere, right? The media did the same thing with Auntie Maxine for all of these decades. Strolled her out in front of us. We saw her on the big screen, giving a head shake with the bad wig, okay? And Cass said, man, she talking that shit. So the popularity granted to her via mainstream media coverage then translated into a community that was unaccountable for people like her, Stacey Abrams, and so on. That, when Brother Wolf says we got to hold that L then, yes. That's where the L has to be held.
So now they're grooming Jasmine Crockett.
Bingo.
The other mayor from Illinois, that small town in Illinois outside of Chicago.
Come on.
They're all being groomed to grift. They're the next age of grifters.
X next, out with the old, in with the new griff.
So I'll say this, because we've been calling them out for years. We need to take a page from the playbook in Iraq in 2008, right? When that Iraqi journalist decided to throw them shoes at Bush. Remember that? Huh?
Hey, Wolf, hold that thought, man. I got a Q. Can I go get the clip, Q? Can I get the clip for you, sir? I've been thinking about running that clip for the last 5 broadcasts. That motherfucker threw 2 shoes at Bush.
2 sandals.
Threw 2 slides at him. And Bush turned into motherfucking Neo from Matrix. Dipped one and slipped the other one. That shit. IQ. Let me go get that clip, bro. I'll be right back, man.
So let me say this, because again, we steady called them out, right? And they doubled down with their benign neglect policies towards Black Americans. I mean, they doubled down. So we need to take a page out of the Iraqi playbook, or take the page what Dr. Short had suggested. Some of us need to have some rotten fruit or vegetables with us and go into some of these places, and somebody need to get some tomatoes, some cabbage, some okra thrown at them, okay? Because that's a visual disgust, a dislike. Now, we're not throwing no clubs or balls or bats, but you get the idea. If I know that you're out here selling the people out, and you doing it with impunity, and you did it for decades, I need to be able to stand before you and toss a nice piece of lettuce at you, okay? Or tomato. Now, am I provoking violence? No. But I'm disappointed because I see that you're still running the same game on us as a people, okay? And maybe those images, and maybe they realize, you know what? I wonder if somebody else going to throw something at me for lying to them continually, okay? Because we don't have a system in place to deal with our traitors. That's why I don't like to talk too much, because I got other things in my mind I'd rather do. But this is a more cordial approach to tossing some fruit or some vegetables at some folks who we know stand 10 toes down and lie to us.
Hey, Chef, see, I got it. You got it already?
Yeah, pull it up, Q, when you ready, bro. But I want to say this to Wolf. Can we be childish, Wolf? Can we get a bunch of Negroes throwing fried chicken and watermelon at some folks? Can we do that?
Where the eggs at, family? Where the eggs at?
Nah, that's nice. We got to throw chicken and watermelons.
Too hard. The eggs are too hard. The lettuce, it's a soft, because you don't want to put nobody's eye out. But if I hit you with some lettuce, some real bad lettuce, or some real
collard greens,
not even no.
How you doing?
A salad or something, you know what I'm saying? But you want to look so we're
I'm talking about the funky batch that's made up in the bathtub.
Yeah.
Hey, Black America, where y'all at? Look at this. Yeah, where y'all at, Black America? Y'all, all that I die for my reparation. Yeah, I ain't see now nigga throw a slide, a chicken wing, a egg, a watermelon, not a okra. I ain't see nothing get thrown at none of these folks.
He looked like he was playing for his baseball team.
Look at it. Look at he dipping out here. Look,
And the shoe guy became a national hero. Matter of fact, those shoes was put inside a museum.
Right.
One of the things that most people may not know is that when in that culture, if they show you the bottom of their feet or a shoe, it's the ultimate sign of disrespect.
Ultimate.
It's like in our culture when another man invites you to their private part.
Well, it's like in our culture of if you get spit on,
Yeah.
it's like that. Look at this. And he was trying to take his top off. Look at Bush get up. Look at him.
But if you can remember the response from that nation, he was looked at as a hero.
He was that guy after that. He sure
Okay?
was. He was that guy after that.
He threw his shoes at the president of the United States. And watch this. The crazy part was this. The Secret Service never came out until the second shoe was already thrown at Bush.
He wasn't playing. Look, this man said, up.
Watch Secret Service come out right now. Watch this. Boom.
Look at that.
So those things I've been picking up on. Where was the Secret Service on when he rose up and started to cross? He should have been tackled. He should have been tackled.
Where was the Secret Service? That's a fact. Woof.
I don't want to shut the conversation. My mind goes somewhere else. But I'm saying to our people, we don't have a system in place to deal with our traitors. So right now we can probably institute when you know one of your benign neglect politicians
right
come speak to you. You just have some vegetables. And vegetables can pass a metal detector. Okay? Let me say this again. Vegetables can pass a metal detector.
And the wolf is not condoning violence, ladies and gentlemen.
Condoning violence. I'm saying, we had to send a message to our people, to the CBCs and those who really, really betrayed us, that we're not with you no more. We're not on the same page.
Right.
Okay? But get your lettuce, get your tomatoes. Back in 1400s, when they didn't like certain politicians and certain lords, they would throw some vegetables at them. Get them up out of here. We need to bring that back.
So you guys in the chat, you've been advised. We've been advised on the panel. Sometimes, as the young kids say less. But we're gonna we got a little bit more time in the broadcast. I want to play a video for the brothers. They don't know where I'm going with this.
Okay.
I always have to be prepared for Chef C with some of my videos. Usually I have my videos ready for Chef C to break the ice, to get him laughing early. But I got a different type of video for the brothers tonight. And before speak.
Did y'all see how angry that brother was? See, we don't get angry enough.
Yeah.
That's why we hadn't seen change with the look.
Look at that motherfucker, boy. He threw that motherfucking slide like his life depended on it. He was trying to take his shit off with the slides.
It was anger.
He was trying to air him out with them slides, man. Look at that shit. Look at the Secret Service. The Secret Service bop up like a little dummy. Look at the Secret Service on the end.
Why does he look like a linebacker that's trying to block a field goal?
The Iraqi president was trying to grab the sneaker. Look at him.
Oh shit! Look at Secret Service.
But watch this. Remember, that's a politician.
Dumbass.
That's the highest office in America.
Oh shit!
Globe. He had two shoes. Okay.
Oh shit!
In disgust.
This is historic, yo.
Look, I'm not advocating violence. I'm saying we need to let folks know. You know what we're discussing.
So let me segue into this next portion of the broadcast, man. Chef C done played this video. So you guys,
God, I'm crying over here.
As you should. It's a crime moment,
you guys, we need you guys to like, share, and subscribe to this broadcast and all our future broadcasts. Donate to our channels if you can. We appreciate it. because a lot of times it's not easy what we do. But
Look,
anyway, right?
it don't cost nobody nothing to like or dislike the program.
But anyway, right? I'm gonna take this a minute, Chef C. I'm gonna leave that. We're gonna close out with that, right?
Okay.
So
Yeah, most definitely.
you guys in the chat, I want to talk to you guys about Pattalk for a second. And one of the things that Pattalk is this is Chef C and Dr. Short's creation. This is their baby. And when myself, Brother Juan, Brother Negro got on board, it was a no-brainer for us to be involved in Pattalk and bringing this back to understanding how the patriarch is, in our belief, the only way to bring this thing all the way back to where it's supposed to be. I have a video that I want to show, and it has nothing to do with what we just talked about with the grifters, but it's a portion of a show that our brother Anthony Mackie did on the Pivot, and I want you guys to tell me what you guys think. Hold on, we're going to discuss this.
And while he's bringing this up, I need y'all to get these likes up.
Facts.
Get these likes up. It don't cost you nothing. Dislike it if you want to.
Right.
You know, likes up, dislikes, subscribe to the channel.
Humble. Like my boys have never. I keep my.
And this is the brother. He's plays Captain America. Been an actor for a long time, and he's talking about fatherhood.
Boys humble. Like my boys have never had a pair of Jordans. You know, my boys don't do all that internet fly shit. I'm like your kids. And no, I don't give a. I could be the biggest star in the world. Do not let me catch you being stupid. Do not. And my oldest gets it. My 15-year-old, he tell the other ones, he's like, yo, don't make dad mad. Because once you get one that's right, he gonna straighten the other ones out. So it's just that thing of, in the past 20 years, we've been living through the death of the American male. They have literally killed masculinity in our homes and our communities, for one reason or another. But I raised my boys to be young men. And however you feel about that, you feel about that. Right. But my boys will always be respectful. They will always say, yes, sir, yes, ma'am. No, sir, no, ma'am. They will always say thank you. They will always open a door for a lady. They will always make sure that their mother is taken care and provided for. They will always be men. And that's always since they were 2 years old. Every time I left for a job, I tell my 15-year-old, you're the man of the house. You make sure these doors are locked every night, this alarm is on, you text me or you call me every night before you go to bed and you wake up.
I love that.
Because we're men. If I'm not there to protect, he got to be there to protect. Because you can have all the money in the world, climb through the window, that money means nothing. Right. You can have all the celebrity in the world, jump through the door, that celebrity means nothing. Yeah. So you got to have a little guard in there, you know? And so for me, it's always that idea of American masculinity is very different.
Hold up.
Brother Juan, your mic is muted.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
So I don't disagree, but I think that we need to provide a little more context. Yeah, masculinity has been under assault since Women Thou Art Loose. Women Thou Art Loose came out in 1992. And the forerunner of Women Thou Art Loose was T.D. Jakes. Masculinity was under assault since feminism came out. Okay? Masculinity was under assault since our sisters received that dang on that welfare, keeping the brothers out the house. So
Hey,
something wrong with it.
let me alley oop you one more, brother Wolf.
Go ahead.
Masculinity, the attack on masculinity happened when they initiated bell hooks at those Black Panther meetings to neutralize male leadership.
Sister Star said he didn't say he was raising boys. He said he was raising men.
Oh, you guys are forgetting about the woman that stabbed Dr. Martin Luther King, Reverend, right in the chest. That's when black masculinity was attacked, and she did that, and she actually harmed that man where his heart and stuff was messed up as a result of her stabbing him with the letter opener, and she directly physically assaulted that brother for no reason.
But this, I can agree with what he says to a degree where he did not mention God nowhere in the conversation.
Come on.
So you can have all the masculinity you want to, but the patriarch was in the mind of God. I mean, must I remind people about Genesis 18:17 when he says, "Should I hide from Abraham? Shall I hide from Abraham that thing which I want to do, seeing that Abraham shall surely become a great and mighty nation, and all the nations of the earth shall be blessed in him? For I know him that he will command his children, command instructions in his household after him, and they shall keep the way of the Lord to do justice, judgment." Okay? So what he said was partially true. But again, we're trying to create, and we're trying to say, God, we don't need you, man. We good. We got this, God. But we ain't got this without God. I know a lot of masculine brothers who are raising their children, raising their boys to be men in a feminist environment, in a LGBTQ environment, in a trans environment. Why do we keep thinking we can do stuff without having God in the equation? That's the question.
The ordained one came with the wheel kick.
Huh? Why do we keep thinking, this is something that Dr. Short would say, why do we keep thinking that we can have a patriarchy society or masculine society without having a God in the equation, man? So what he said was right with a comma. Watch this. You guys know I did policing for almost 3 decades.
Right.
And the police was the surrogate fathers in the neighborhood. And one of the biggest things that you did not see was men surrendering to God. If you saw them, they was on them corners. They was on those convenience stores. They were going to the park. The sisters had the houses and the guys had the convenience stores. Okay. Or the alleys. But where is God in the equation? Nowhere to be found. We're not going to be able to produce a mighty nation until we at least take on the mindset or take on the responsibility that God gave Abraham, which is, shall I hide from Abraham the thing I want to do? Abraham is the father of Judaism, Islam, and Christianity. Your 3 major religions. If it was good enough for Abraham, damn it, it's good enough for me. And it should be good enough for you. Okay? So Mackie is halfway right. Now land my plane with that.
Well, you spoke for all of us, I guess, there, because you definitely took the conversation that Mackie gave us the appetizer, then you just came with the main course.
I'm gonna put the scripture in the chat, the whole chapter.
I thought it was interesting that he said that on that platform because a lot of people don't usually attack Hollywood from within. Um, Usually, people when they attack Hollywood, they have already been ostracized or used and abused. I was surprised that he said it. Definitely speaking in the terms of globally, speaking of America, dealing with masculinity, because sometimes people don't realize the subtle ways where masculinity is being attacked.
Right. Right.
And it's so subtle that it's like that gnat that keep flying in your face on a hot summer day and you can't get it out your face. That is subtle. It eats away at you. And if you don't pay attention to it, all masculinity will be gone. And I was just really shocked that he said that. I never knew this side of him. I usually watch some of the shows that he's played in. I never really watched none of his interviews. Earth
Well,
Angel, you're correct. We can't because leaving the Father Creator out.
I'm not surprised he said it. But he didn't throw God into the equation. So he was taking some shots. He was taking some major shots. Here it is. I think he was kind of maybe embellishing because I heard him say when he's off and he gives instructions to his 2-year-old. Now I can remember being 2.
Yeah.
And see myself at 2 years old locking no door.
Right. Right.
Hey, brother Juan. Before we say, okay, Black Larry said he's seen him a couple times at the gym. He seemed like a regular dude in a good way. Before we say our last words and close out, right, for tonight, I need you to explain what do you mean when you say instruction? Why is this? Why is that so important for us to understand instruction in manhood?
Instructions is important because in life, whatever you build, whatever you bake, whatever you're trying to make, you have to have instructions. We're trying to protect, provide, which is the function of males and men, but we keep leaving out the instructions. Even when I became the police, I wasn't born a police. No. I went to the academy and I learned through instructions how to be the police. Okay. When I cook, I read ingredients like the chef. Chef ain't just cooking. He cooking because you know what? Somebody gave him instructions on how to prepare, whether it's the lamb, whether it's the beef, whether it's the fish, whether it's the chicken. But you have to read the instructions. We don't want instructions. We don't want to be told what to do. That's why we become a law unto ourselves. If you don't have instructions, you are a law unto yourself, and then you want to run up out here, and you're going to get hurt. I teach this gun piece, right?
Mm-hmm.
I go through firearms class to learn how to properly teach you how to handle the gun. Now, before I went to that class, I mean, I've been carrying guns since I was 13, 14. I tell you where I bought my first gun, Fidave Blaine Street on the east side, DC, okay? I was shaking out back in those days. Okay? Yeah. So I had the gun, but I ain't had no instructions with that. But I had the gun. Okay? But when I got came with the police department and learned how to properly handle the gun, how to shoot. That's one thing. But then I became a firearm instructor, and I had to go through the classes, the NRA, to teach me how to become a better shooter and teach others how to be better shooters. Okay? So instructions is crucial. It's important. It's you have to have instructions if you want to be let me say it right. Well, I'll say like the scripture says in Genesis 18. God said, "Do I hide from Abraham the thing I want to do for him?" Seeing that he's going to give his children instructions about me and his household. When people see you or come in your proximity, they should be able to see some type of God in you. That you not just did to have a good time, but there's something different about this dude or this woman. Okay? Let me sit down and pick his brain, pick her brain, because they may be to give me some what? Some instructions.
That's right.
Some help.
That's right.
I want to teach one. Okay?
Brother Negro, final thoughts, my brother. Brother Negro.
No, I'm here. I'm here. It took me a minute.
Final
I
thought.
wanted us to talk about this BLM, brother.
We got to close out. BLM same thing. Not not minimizing what they're doing, brother Negro, and I apologize for that.
No. I'm not knocking about the minimum. I just want us to briefly talk about the money aspect of it and others and the symbolism aspect of it. Either or, I'm not the minimizing it. I think should be minimized to a certain extent because it didn't benefit us. You know, so like that was more or less where I was coming from. But I ain't tripping about that. And you might be crunched for time, so it's all love. My thoughts on it that we do need to have more instructions. Don't white supremacy always like to throw at our face that they took our fathers out the home, that our fathers got mass incarcerated and all that other stuff. So we do need to have some type of system, order, and instruction, SOPs or system orders and procedures in which we interact with each other. I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. I think that these are healthy boundaries to build a stronger community to have a better lineage tomorrow. So like I don't see nothing wrong with that. I think that we need to be implementing it more whenever we get a chance. But salute to you on that, and I'll catch y'all on the flip side too.
Peace, brother Negro. Yeah, brother Negro is the Masters is coming. You guys will be seeing him in his robe real soon with his crown on. He gonna take them pictures looking like Uncle Fester, and we gonna have him up here. Brother Negro is the educated one.
I got the black heritage stoles. Make sure that you don't let them foreign people rock their flags. We need to rock our flags, family.
That's right.
Especially when we're on the homeland. Represent, family. Represent.
And remember, you guys, like, share, subscribe to our various channels. And before I go to Chef C, I'm gonna just say that this particular show is done in the spirit of Dr. Short. Like I said, you guys, Dr. Short has some stuff going on right now, so we're gonna continue to pray for him. We're gonna continue to lift Doc up, man. You know, one thing about him, uh, when a storm comes his way, he gonna always have his jokes. So make sure for you guys that got Dr. Short's number, shoot him a text, reach out to him because he says something real funny to me right before we started the broadcast. Chef C.
Peace. You know, I would say this, man. You know, even in this deconstructed, dysfunctional society, there is some form of instruction being implemented or enforced per se. And I would think on a micro level, we have to make sure that there are instructions as well to even secure our own space. Um, those who are unable or unwilling don't deserve the protections that come along with the instructions. Okay. And you, as a person who provides instruction, shouldn't die on a sword, shouldn't land on a sword, trying to give those instructions to an unwilling person. So, you know, um, I learned something a long time ago when I was on my player game. You don't choose, you choose the one that chooses you. Okay, and don't shoot your shot at the one that's not looking at you, because now you're overextending yourself for a losing cause, ladies and gentlemen. So even if this, for the ladies that know how to play the game and for the fellas that play the way you play to win, take it with a grain of salt, man. This particular space where we are, um, Brother Wolf is prepared to step over plenty of carcasses. And at some point, I'm going to graduate as well and join him in those efforts of stepping over those carcasses of the ininstructable or the unwilling. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I just do what you got to do out here, man, and look out for yourself. Most importantly, fuck all the extra shit. Don't fall on no sword for nobody. Especially for these ignorant folk. Handle your business and take care of your family. That's really what you need to be doing. So I also want to say in my last thoughts here, I'm probably going to do a couple broadcasts on their next this weekend, some reactions per se. I'm not going to get into too heavy with the political stuff, but we're going to leave that for Pattalk. Q's been doing a phenomenal job. I want to send a major thank you to you, Q, for taking up this helm this season, this year for us, pretty much leading the charge and revamping what it is that we do on this particular segment of what it is. It's Pattalk here. So I really appreciate you putting the program together, giving it a facelift. Is definitely truly appreciated in your efforts over here on this side, Brother Q. But on the flip side, ladies and gentlemen, as I was saying, if you haven't subscribed to my other platforms, I got the Cook Up with Chef C. All right, ladies and gentlemen, again, I am trying to get 50 subs. Okay, y'all, it's plenty of y'all in here right now. The Cook Up with Chef C. All right, trying to get them subs. I want to be going live when I'm doing my cooking demonstrations, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Shout out to my sister Star. She's one of the main reasons why I've decided to do that. And shout out to my brother Nico. While we've decided to create that other alternate platform. So I really appreciate them from giving me some kind of motivating me to do that. So we'll have alternate programming for you. And my brother Negro, y'all be on the lookout for my brother Negro's, his book is supposed to be coming soon. Brother Negro, I didn't hear you talk about the book, but Delineationology, ladies and gentlemen.
That's gonna be dropping out soon. I just updated the cover and everything else, so that will be dropping. It should be between the price range of $25 to $30,
Very
somewhere around there. It's got a lot of history in there, family. A lot of investigative stuff. I'm gonna push more to historical investigations in regards to some of the crimes and stuff that happened to our people. Every time I pick up a book, I see an atrocity, a crime that hasn't. I don't see no cops, nobody arresting these losers if they're still living, because some of them still are. And I don't care if they're 80, 90 years old. I still want to see them go in that paddy wagon. I want to see that mugshot, family. So that's where I'm kind of at these days. But thank you for bringing that up, brother. Delineationology, the science of delineation, will be coming soon to a platform. Make sure you go to the Black owned business, EPRN. Support the Black owned brothers. Don't go to Amazon. go through the website. That would be greatly appreciated. Make sure that we want these black businesses to get some dollars too.
And I want to say that with that, going to our website, go to my brother lwftraining.com. Brother Juan J. Johnson does have the LWF training shirts, ladies and gentlemen. Get your shirt over there, ladies.
Oh shoot! Oh sookie
Okay?
sookie dog.
The brother has merch now. Okay? So support our brother Juan J. Johnson as well. I'm sure Brother Q is going to be coming out with some products too. Y'all be on the lookout to go ahead and support our brother Q. And we appreciate all of y'all on a regular basis for rocking with us, man.
This is
Q, you got it, man.
This is a very crucial year for us. And when I say that, I say it in good terms. We all got some individual plans that we want to bring into fruition within the next 8-9 months. And we really need you guys to support what we're doing, support our efforts. We're trying to really take Pattalk to another level. For all the men that's in the chat, for all the men that's in the chat, if you don't have one within the next 6 months, make sure you get a mentee. Just get a mentee. Find you a younger man that you're going to mentor to, and vice versa. I had just lost my mentor that I had for about 15 years last year, and it's hard to find me another one. I'm looking for another mentor, to be honest with you guys. But I got 2 mentees, and I'm challenging every last one of us to find a mentee and a mentor. It's very important. It's vital, definitely for us as men, because we are the leaders. And one of the things that has eroded our society is males don't want to be men. They don't want to lead. A lot of people don't want to lead. They don't want to put their pants on properly and lead. They don't want the responsibility. So I say that to say, continue to support us. We appreciate every last one of you guys, whether y'all realize it or not. We appreciate it. We appreciate all the support, all the likes, donations, all the shares, all the comments, because we're all one big group of people who have a commonality together. We may all 4 be on the panel, but you guys are in the chat. You guys are part of the discussion just as much as we're talking. So don't think that we look over your comments and just, they null and void, because they're not null and void. They're important to every last one of us.
Facts.
So appreciate you guys. Guys, have a great night, man. And like Chef C said, be on the lookout this weekend, man. We might just be popping up. Hopefully, this coming Sunday, we might have another Pat Talk. We'll see. But just make sure you got them notifications jumping and be ready. And we will see you guys real soon. Take care and have a fabulous night. Great show.